Matthew 11:13. And seeing in the distance a fig tree covered with leaves, Jesus went to see if he could find any fruit on it. For in the fig tree the fig appears at the same time as the leaves. But when he came to it, he found nothing but leaves, for the fig season had not yet come. And he said to it, "No one will ever eat fruit from you." And his disciples were listening to what he said. And then in verse 20, the next morning they were passing along and noticed the fig tree was withered completely away to its roots. And Peter remembered and said, "Master, look, the fig tree which you doomed has withered away." And Jesus replying said, "Have faith in God constantly. Constantly have faith in God. Truly I tell you, whoever says to the mountain, 'Be lifted up, thrown into the sea,' and does not doubt at all in his heart and believes that what he says will take place, it will be done for him. For this reason, I'm telling you, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe, trust, and be confident that it's granted to you, and you will get it. And whenever you stand praying, if you have anything against anyone, forgive him, let it drop, let it go, so that your Father who is in heaven may also forgive you of your own shortcomings. Because I said so. I can have what I say because I said so. Because Jesus said, whatever you ask for in prayer, believe that you have received it and it will be yours. And if you stand holding anything against anyone, when you stand praying, if you hold anything against anyone, then drop it and let it go. And so, because I said so, I can have what I said. Jesus cursed the fig tree, and the disciples noticed it the next day that it was withered from the roots up. And he said, if you have constant faith, whatever you say to this mountain, and you believe in your heart that what you said, it'll happen. Someone once said to me, "You act as though you're invincible." And I believe it was the day that he was trying to give me his stove. I needed a stove. I quit my job to work for Jesus. And so I believed what he said, that I could have what I said. And so I said, I have a new stove. And he was in awe at how the confidence that I had for my new stove. And I turned down his stove. And so sure enough, I did get my stove. I had what I said. And Jesus wants to encourage you today that if you believe in your heart, and we've been talking about this, if you expect it, it has to happen because you said so, because he gave you the authority to say so. He said, I tell you the truth, if you have constant faith. So if you're wavering back and forth, you're not going to get it, because God said a double-minded man won't receive anything from him. So you can't believe one day and then not the next day and then expect something to happen. It won't happen. And you can think you're believing for a long, long time, but because you're wavering, it's not going to happen. If you don't have it, you're missing it somewhere, because Jesus doesn't lie. He said, if you believe, you can have what you say. Because you said so, it will happen. My name is Lee Klein. Thank you so much for joining me today. We are going to acknowledge Jesus. Jesus, we thank you and praise you for this word. We thank you so much that you have so much good for us, and that you just want to share it with us to prepare, especially right now in this time, for your return, to be ready, to be that bride without spot or wrinkle. We thank you for your presence here today, Jesus. So Jesus is saying, because you said so, because you believe, because you didn't waver, because what you say and what you believe in your heart, I'll back you up. And he's saying, I'm coming, and I'm coming soon, and I need you to say so. I need you to start taking authority over the enemy and put him in his place. I need you to say it. I need you to make it happen. I need you to do the things that I was doing, and even greater things than I, because I'm going to my Father, because I said so. All power and authority has been given unto me, and I'm giving it to you because I said so. We got to take him at his word, literally just take him at his word, because he said so. We can have what he said. We can have what we say because he said so. He's our authority. He's the boss. He made it that way. Whatever you say is going to happen, but you got to expect it. And you can't waver. And the only way to do that is to stay in the Word, to stay connected to Him, to stop looking at things around you as if you can't do anything about it when you can, because you said so. You can change it because Jesus said you can. He didn't say, come to me and beg me. He said, I'm giving you this authority, Matthew 18:18, because I said so. He saw a fig tree and he cursed it. He said, no one will eat fruit from you again. And I believe he was saying that. I believe he did that to show the disciples the power and authority that is granted to them, to those who believe. I'm going to go, you're going to do what I was doing, and even greater things. Jesus is seriously expecting us to change things, to get the attention of the unbelievers so they know the power of God, so they know the power that we carry, God in us, doing His work, moving the mountains, changing the problems, calling those things to be not as though they were, using that authority to get well, to lay hands on the sick, to cast out demons, to even raise the dead. Jesus is waiting for us. He's long-suffering as He waits for us to do His will. So when He comes, He can actually come for that bride that is ready, that bride without spot or wrinkle, that bride that has pressed through and actually got to the place where she believes, where he believes the Word of God and actually apply it to her life, live by it, and do it without doubting. Believe that that tree will be cursed. Believe that person will be healed. Believe that by His stripes you were healed. And the only way you can believe that is to go to Jesus and sit at His feet, read the Word, absorb the Word instead of what you're looking at. Take it in. Take it in. Ask Him to help you. If you have doubt, you can go to Him and He'll encourage you. You know, lots of times we question what we're believing, what we're saying. We're doing what we're taught, calling those things to be not as though they were, but then thinking, I wonder if He's really going to do this. I wonder if anyone else had this. I had this thing the same thing I was believing for, because it's unusual. And so then you start wondering, did this ever happen for anyone else? Did this ever happen for anyone else? I was in that situation. I went to Jesus. And He said yes. The answer is yes. You go to Jesus and He's going to tell you yes. And you're going to have that rhema word. And then you're going to be able to believe without a shadow of a doubt. When you hear Him, that is faith. Faith comes by hearing the Word. Hearing the Word of Jesus in your heart is going to bring you the most faith. Jesus is just beckoning us to do His will, to do what He asked us to do. He's sending us out to do His work. And most people are just all wrapped up in that problem that they should be speaking to and believing it's going to change because you said it. But Satan has us all worried about this thing instead of changing it because we're listening to him and not Jesus, because people don't have time to sit at Jesus's feet because they're worrying, because they're trying to figure out their problems. They're all stressed out about this, that, and the other thing. So why would they even remember? Jesus said, if you don't pay attention to what you hear, even what you have is going to be taken from you. Satan's going to get you so agitated and cause so much chaos in your life that you're not even going to remember to speak to the mountain. And if you do remember, you're not going to have confidence to do it because you got to sit with him. You got to look at the word. You got to take it in. You have to do it, hear it, live it, not just say, okay, yeah, I know that. You don't know it until you're actually living it out, until you're actually doing it. That's when you know it. That's when you know it. And Jesus is coming, and he's coming for that bride that knows it, the bride that does it, the bride that cares about what he cares about, the bride that's doing his work, not complaining about what is. We got to stop complaining. We got to stop being baby Christians and grow up and actually do the work and actually expect what we say to happen. And when the enemy comes and say, you can't do that, you say, yes, I can. I said so. This is going to happen. You need to move out of the way. I'm an authority over you. You're not an authority over me. So take every challenge that comes your way and say so. And tell that thing you're talking to that you have permission and it has to change. The mountain has to move because you said so. Have an amazing rest of your day. God bless you.